Hi, it's Cindy Fodor here with Stamp the Love, and it's Make It Monday. And I wanted to just pop on. I missed last week, and I'm going to show you what I was going to show you last week. And then I have some tips for watercoloring this week. So I know a lot of people say they don't really know a lot about watercoloring, and I did something for my Stamp-A-Stack this weekend, and I think it worked really well, and I thought maybe you guys would like to know how that works. So I have a few things to show you. Pop on, say hello, let me know that you're here, and and we'll get started. Let me go over to my other screen, and I will show you the first thing that I was going to show you last week. It's just a little tip for a project that I had done and had some questions about, and I wanted to fill you in on that. Okay, so this is the card that I had some questions about. And you see the copper ribbon in here in the wavy natural ribbon. And I just want to show you how I did that. And it's a little tricky. So I cut a strip of ribbon in half. So this is just half. It would normally be about 1/4 of an inch wide. And the tricky part comes in if you have like little loose strands, trying to just pull those off and get rid of those, because what I did was then I started and I'm going to hold this close so that hopefully you can see. Let me see if I can find, do I have a pokey tool in here? Let me grab this. So if you can see right here, in the middle of this, there's one single strand, and then there are two holes on either side. So I'm using that just to weave the ribbon through. Okay, so I just take it like this, slide it through the one side, and I did use the pokey tool to sort of scoot it apart, whoops, so that that hole would be more accessible if you need it to be. So you pull it up through one, and so this is not for the faint of heart, and it's not a quick thing, but I think it is so beautiful that it was worth the time it took to do it. Just, I don't know, that copper with the natural is just so stunning. I think a thread, I do have a thread, a needle threader, and I think that would work really well for this if you want it to go a little quicker than it's going right now. So then I just take this again and just start over. I'm keeping it so that it's straight the whole time, so that it's not twisting on me. And just bring it up, give it a little snugness, and then take it back down, and so on. And then just keep repeating that until you have this whole area filled with beautiful copper. All right, so that was my quick tip for this card. And then I have just a couple other tips I wanted to show you. Today's tip day, okay? So let me know that you're here. It's always helpful to know if you're watching. I know it's easier to just pop by, and I don't care if you don't stay. Just let me know that you're here. If you have any questions, you can pop those on there too. All right, so I did want to quick show you how I did this watercolor. So this is stamped in black and then watercolored, and then I'm going to show you something cool about this as well. So let me pull in the piece that I'm watercoloring, and I'm using 4 colors, and this is my tip. So I'm going to take my block H, I believe, block I, and I'm going to put my color right on there, so that I don't have to use it in the lid. I don't have to have all these pads open. I'm just going to put some color right there. And this is my shaded spruce, Lost Lagoon. I'm getting it on my fingers now. Pool Party. Okay. And then I am using the fine, well, that's not it, the fine tip brush for our water painters. And I'm also going to, I like to have a blank spot here. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of water there. it's nice to have this so that you can just go in and rinse your brush off if you need to, or if you need to get a little bit more water while you're coloring. That's not going to work very well with that that light shining right on there. Let me see if I can crop this. It's so tough to get good lighting without making a... There. How's that? My water will probably run off. I do need to just grab a piece of scrap paper because you always need scrap paper when you're watercoloring. Sometimes just to see if you have enough color, sometimes just to dab off some. So I'm going to start with my lightest color. So I did it from darkest to lightest because once you put these on here, you cannot really tell the difference between them. So I put them on darkest to lightest so that I know. The smooth leaves, I'm just using Pool Party for that. So I'm just going to throw this on here. And I told the ladies that it's just thrown on. Basically, like, I didn't take a ton of time to color in. It's sort of a nice scripty stamp. Like, you know, you can tell that somebody drew it, and it's like there's plenty of open spaces, so it doesn't feel like everything has to be pristine and in its place. So I'm just not taking a ton of time, because who wants to spend hours creating, like, doing this for Christmas cards? I know my customers, you guys, at least most of you, do not love to do that. You want it to look like you spent a lot of time, but you don't want it to take a lot of your time. Okay, I'm going to grab a little bit of water because it's getting a little dry. We're going to go into Lost Lagoon, and the little holly, this takes a little more time because I got to go into the crevices a little bit, into the points. I'm using Lost Lagoon for the holly. And you notice how I'm like going down the center first because I want that to be the darkest. So whatever you put down first when you pick up this color is usually going to be your darkest. So, and then I'll just scoot it out to the edges from there. That one's really dark. Come back and finish that one when I have a little less color on my brush. And that's really how you get the shaded color. I just put that on here, so I'm going to grab another one just because I already filled that with color, and there's no use wasting it, right? Okay, so we're ready to just check to make sure you didn't miss any. I'm going to just rinse that a little bit. I'm going to a darker color, so it really doesn't matter. But I want it wet because this one, I want the brush to be nice and pointed. And to do that, you have to make sure that your brush is wet enough. And I want to just take this and just go along that inside line of the pine or the greenery, just to add that color. But I don't want it to all be spread out because I want it to still be the lines to be very visible. Boy, I couldn't get that word out. Okay, so get these berries done, and I am trying to stay in the lines, but I just go down, make a little circular motion, and boom, it's done, right? It's pretty easy to fill the berries up. Again, making sure the brush is nice and wet because, again, that keeps those bristles together. When the bristles get dry, you start going outside the lines. Like right there. Okay. All right. That was quick and easy. I'm just going to try to put it on here so that we can get a good little picture of the different colors. Hopefully you can see that. Green is hard. Green's usually hard to visualize on camera, but actually on my computer it looks not terrible. So thank goodness. Oftentimes it looks blue instead of green. Okay, I do want to show you a couple other, the rest of this card, just because it's so pretty. I did copy this idea mostly from somebody on a demonstrator planning place, I think, but we all love the music note paper, and so that is just how We're just layering that. And you guys know that I do like to put extra adhesive on when I have embossed something because it tends to want to buckle up. And that doesn't look as nice and finished for your card. And we're going to put this, let me put this on here so you can see it. Or so I can see it, so I can see where I'm going. I want a nice little edge the whole way around. And then this will go on my base card. But I also want to make sure that I turn this the right way. So that would be the top. And then we have this cute little pool party tag that comes from one of these bundles. And I can't remember which one I took that from. And I'm just popping that right on there. We have our Lost Lagoon ribbon. We'll pop that on with a little bit of glue dot here. And then the Joyous from this set, I am just doing a little bit of trimming. Because I think I love die cut letters, but we don't have a die for this one. So it has to be by hand, and it doesn't have to be horrible. You just hold it with your left hand. Today's tip day. Hold it with your left hand and move it with your left hand. And you just keep the scissors going smoothly while you're turning it. And I'm trying not to get points. I'm trying to make sure everything is rounded. That's my goal. It doesn't always, I'm not always perfect with it, but my goal is to make everything look rounded as if a die cut it out. And then we will just put a little bit of glue on here. I don't want to pop any of this up because our Noel was going to pop up on here. And then these will get placed. I guess I should have done both of them because now I'm going to put this one down here. I'll lay this one up here just to give me an idea. And then what I did with the letters, I stamped the Noel, and I didn't bring the stamp along in to show you, but it has N-O-E-L in a square so that you can use it as that, or you can set them out and use them long ways like we're going to do today. But before I cut them, I put a piece of our foam, our pop-up foam sheets on the back of the paper and cut out these beautiful letters so they're all popped up. I don't have to put dimensionals on and have them like slumping in places. So I'm very excited. Now I can peel the back off and I can stick these in it. It helps probably if you lay them out first just to get a feel for where you want to go with them. But it is a little irritating because the edges stick to your fingers a bit. Okay, I'm going to sit that one right there. And it's just going to want to catch on the edge of that. And I don't want it to because that needs colored yet. And then we'll stick this one in place. And then we'll do this one. It is going to help if you can look down over it and visualize it, but I can't do that right now on video, so I'm going to have to just wing it a little bit. And there we go. All right, so when that's colored, it will look like this. And I added some of our natural sequins, the silver ones on here. And yeah, it's got some nice, you can see my card. I didn't do that foam when I did my first one. And you can see all the dimensional under it. With this one, it looks solid, it looks complete. I just love the look of this. I should tell you exactly what they're called, but I don't have my catalog in here. But it's back with our adhesives, and it's like a whole sheet of like it's not little pieces of dimensional, but it's a dimensional sheet. So it's a foam sheet. And yeah, it works perfect for cutting out little letters or little things that you want to be able to pop up the whole thing. All right, so I think that's everything I wanted to show you today. You will catch the video of my classes, which I typically play on my on the night of my monthly class. But I wanted to show you these tips tonight while I could, and I will get the video for you next week. So let me know what you're playing with, and if you've gotten some new things, what is your favorite, or if you want to order some new things, and you checked out the holiday catalog, what is some of your favorite things? Oh, I do want to tell you, I forgot, I didn't bring that in here. Make sure that you check out online. There are 5 new designer papers that are not in the catalog, and you definitely will want to take a look at those. There's some that coordinate with stamps that are that came out online early. There's some that coordinate with the Saint Nick stamp set. There's some beautiful Christmassy shiny Christmas paper. There's some tartan plaid paper that's beautiful. I don't have it yet, so I can't show you, but I will maybe pop a picture up here for you so that you can see what they look like. Or while supplies last. So I'll just tell you, you know, they're here today, but they could be gone tomorrow. And I'll tell you this, if you tried to order something online and it wasn't available, everything that's in the mini catalog will probably come back. They've already ordered some things they knew we were low of, and some of the things are coming back like very soon, like next week. So but if you have a question of something you really want and you're frustrated because it's not there, please holler and let me know. I will be happy to keep an eye out for it, give you an idea of if I have a time frame for when it will be back. I think that's everything. I hope that you have a great week. God bless.